everyone. Thanks for joining me. I'm Mary, your exercise instructor for today's falls prevention class. Let's get started by remembering a few safety considerations. Make sure you have space around your chair to move safely with nothing in your way. Also, use a sturdy chair, preferably with armrests. Have comfortable clothing on. Wearing footwear that's safe and appropriate for exercise, and have a water bottle nearby. Also, if you ever need a break, feel free to take one, no problem. If you ever have a sharp pain, make sure you stop that movement. And if you ever feel something unusual, like nausea, feeling lightheaded, dizzy, chest pain, irregular heartbeats, trouble breathing, anything of that nature, make sure you stop the routine altogether, okay? So let's just listen to our bodies, but let's make sure we have some fun this morning, getting ourselves all warmed up for some good exercise. So I'll just start my music, and remember, if you happen to be exercising by yourself this morning, it doesn't hurt to call a friend or family member and ask them to check in on you in about an hour. Very good. So let's start by coming to the front of the chair. We want to sit nice and tall with our back, shoulders pressed back, relax them down, feet flat on the ground. Let's start by taking a nice deep breath in through the nose as you reach up, out through the mouth as you reach out. 2 more. And last one. Good. Now let's begin by using our neck. Let's push the head forward and pull it back in, elongating and shortening the neck. 2 more. Push, pull. Remember to keep looking forwards. Good. Now downwards and upwards 5 times. 2, 3, 4, 5. Lovely. Let's turn the head now to the right and to the left gently as you breathe. 3 more times. And last one, side to side. Good. Now let's bend our neck to the side. So we're leaning that ear towards the shoulder, leaning the opposite ear towards your other shoulder. Remember to let your shoulders relax and breathe. Good. Now let your arms go loose and lift those shoulders up. Breathing in, lower them down, breathing out. Two more. Good job. Now let's do our shoulder rolls. Bring your shoulders forwards and up, backwards and down. Breathing in and out. 3, 4, 5. Very good. Now let's go the opposite direction. Back and up, forward and down. Breathing in and out. Last 2. Very nice. Let's open the arms wide. Breathe like you're swimming. 1 more. Now let's reach those arms backwards. Pinky finger leading the way. Inhale and exhale. 2 more times, each arm. You're doing great. Loosening up those shoulders. Good. Now arms in front. Let's bend and touch the shoulders. Straight and touch. Now let's flip our hands over, palms face the floor, and bend the elbows this way a few times. Good. Now reach out to the sides as far out as you can and flip the hands up and down, turning your arms inward and outward from your shoulders. Now wrists, let's roll them in circles, breathing. Other way. Good. Flip the hands now back and forth using the wrist. And let's do some fists and wide hands. And let's do open the fingers, close them. 2 more. Good. Wiggle those fingers up. Now, goalpost arms, elbows and hands together, and open. Breathing in and out. 3, 4, 5. Very good. Now let's bring one arm up and keep one arm down low, but press both arms backwards. Gently and slowly switching the arms, breathing in and breathing out, pressing both arms backwards. 2. Breathe in and out. 3. 4. And 1 more. Each arm coming up and down. 5. Very good. Shake those shoulders up. Now let's do a little bit of rowing. Arms down low, elbows all the way behind you. Pull those elbows back. 2. 3. Squeeze those shoulder blades together when you pull your elbows back. 5. Very good. Now hands at your armpits, lift the elbows. Breathe in and out. 3, 4, and 5. Lovely. Shake those shoulders. Now let's do a little bit with our trunks. Starting with our hands on our hips, we're going to turn our upper body to the right. Let's breathe in and let's turn. 1. To the left now. Turn. 2. Right and left. 3. Turn. 4. Turn. And last one. 5. Turn. Good. Now let's do a little bit of bending to the side. Breathe in first and breathe out. Do a little bend to one side. Breathing in and breathing out. Do a little bend to the other. 2. Remember not to bend forward, only to the side. 3. 4. And one more time, bending to each side. 5. Good. Now let's reach to each side. Wide arms out to the sides, wide legs. And let's reach all the way to the right. Let's reach all the way to the left. 2. Try to lift that opposite hip a little off the chair when you reach to the opposite side. 3. Keep breathing with me. You're doing great. 4. And one more. 5. Good. Now, arms across the chest, away from your backrest. We're going to lean forward and backward. Now hold on one moment and I will adjust my chair. Stay seated. And that way you can see what I'm doing with my hips. I'm keeping my back straight, but I'm bending at the hips. Okay, so no rounding that back. Coming forward and coming backwards. Take your time. 2. Breathing in and out. 3. 4. And last one. 5. Excellent. Now let's do a little bit of arching and rounding our backs. So when you arch your back, you're making that inward curve in your low back obvious by pressing your shoulders and your hips back and chin up slightly. Breathe in. Breathing out, chin down. Round your back slowly, pulling the belly button inward towards your spine. 4 more of those. Breathing in, arching. And breathing out, rounding. 2. 3. 4. 5. Very good. Now I'll turn my chair just one moment. And now let's do a 2-arm up above our head in the shape of the letter V. Wide legs. And we're going to breathe in first. Breathing out, bring your right hand towards your left shin. Leaving the opposite arm in the air. Breathing in, bring that arm up, both are up. Breathing out, left hand now down towards your right shin. Let's do 5 of those. That's 1. Breathing in and out. Breathe in and out. 2. 3. Keep breathing in and out. 4. And one more time. 5. Lovely job, everyone. Now let's do some with our legs. Start by lifting your knees up one at a time, sitting nice and tall. Right, left, right, left. 3, 4, and 5. Now knees to the side. Keep that foot directly underneath the knee as you bring your leg out and back in. Now left leg out and back in. Right and left. Right and left. 2 more. Side to side. Very good. And last one. Now let's tap our right toe all the way out and bring it in. Left toe all the way out and back in. Now you're straightening your leg, getting that opening up of your inner thigh. 3. Tap that toe out. 4. And one more time each side. Tap it out. Good. Now let's take our little baby toe, place that on the ground of one foot, and then the big toe on the ground of the same foot. Turning your hip outward, turning your hip inward. 2 more. And we'll do the same for the left leg. Toe and toe. Left leg now. Little toe and big toe. Feeling your leg turning inward and outward. 2 more. And last one. Good. Now, let's move on to some with our heels. Lift those heels up and down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathing in and out. 7. Squeeze those calf muscles in the lower part of your legs. Now, let's slide the feet forward and lift the toes up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Now I want you to slide your hips to the very back of your chair, all the way back, so we can straighten and bend one leg at a time. Remember to point your toes up when you straighten that leg. 3. Keep breathing. 4. And last one. 5. Good. Now, sitting tall, you can hold on to your armrest. Let's lift both feet up and make our ankle circles. Breathing. Let's do 10, one direction, and 10 the opposite direction. So now we're going to switch. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Rest those legs. Now give your toes a good curl and straighten to keep that arch in your foot strong. Bending and straightening your toes. We'll do 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now lift the feet again, and let's point the toes towards us and away. Towards us and away. Good. We're all done warming up everything. Now let's do some balance exercises after our stand-ups and sit-downs. So I'm just going to adjust my chair. Hold on and stay seated for me. And let's start by moving ourselves to the front of the chair. We always want to come forward wherever we're sitting to the front of that surface so that we can more easily stand up from it. So slide your heels back as long as they're still touching the ground. That way when you go to sit back down, your chair will be close to your body. And we have that nice space between our legs for stability when we're standing. And remember to use as much hand support as you need, but still giving yourself some challenge. So using either 2, 1 armrest, hands on the lap, arms across the chest or arms in front. Give yourself a little bit of a challenge, okay? And if you do happen to need any support in front of you when you're standing, make sure you're doing this with another chair in front, sturdy chair, table, or countertop. So today I'm going to practice with my arms across my chest. So let's lean forward with our body weight so the nose comes past your toes, then pushing up through your legs, nice and tall, standing proud and coming down slowly, bending your knees, pressing your hips back so you're basically squatting as you come down slowly into the chair. Let's do 4 more of those. Breathe. Lean and push up tall. And coming down slowly. Good. Number 3. Lean forward. Push up through those legs. And slowly on the way down, bend the knees, hips go back. Excellent. Just 2 more. Breathe. Excellent. Coming down slowly, bend those knees, hips go back. And just one left. You're doing great this morning. 5, fabulous. Take a moment just to see how you're feeling on your feet today. If you're feeling all right, then let's get a drink of water and let's stand behind our chair for some balance. Now the first balance exercise I'm going to do today, I'm going to require 2 chairs. And I would suggest it's a good idea for you to have a second chair so you can have one on one side and one on the other side. If you don't have a second chair handy, use your countertop, use a table, okay? Something sturdy. Okay, so what we're going to do is an exercise called foursquare step. So pretend that we have a big plus sign like this on the ground directly between our chairs. So there's a vertical line and there's a horizontal line. Okay? Now, I would like you to stand at the bottom left. Sorry, just one moment. The music is a bit loud. I would like you to stand in the bottom left square of this imaginary 4 squares. So that would be right about here. So remember, you have an imaginary vertical line on the ground and an imaginary horizontal line on the ground, dividing the floor into 4 squares. Okay? 2 at the bottom, 2 at the top. So what we're going to practice is stepping forwards, sideways, backwards, and sideways. So I'll give you the cues. Step forward, right, step backward, step left. And I want you to consider when you're doing this exercise that when you step forward, you always place your heel down on the ground before the toe. And when you step backwards, you place your toe on the ground first and then your heel. And when you step to the side, you want to step with your toes still pointing forward with that whole foot at the same time. Okay? So let's practice that, and feel free to hold on to your chair with as much support as you feel necessary until we practice a few times, and then we'll try to progress with a little less support. Okay? So let's make sure that we have the chairs far enough apart that we will have enough space to do those steps. Okay? So let's start with stepping forward. Heel toe, heel toe. Now we're going to practice stepping to the right. Side, step. Now we're going to practice stepping backwards. Remember, toe and then heel. And stepping to the left. Side, step. So you can see how we step in 4 different squares there, imaginary squares. So let's practice that a little bit more. Try, if you feel comfortable, to lessen the amount of support you're using with your hands on the chair's backrest. Try using from the whole hand holding to the palm, to the fingertips alone, to the 1 or 2 fingertips, to hovering above the chair, okay? Just do what you feel is comfortable yet challenging. So let's step forward, heel toe. Let's step to the right, side step together. Let's step backwards, toe and heel. And let's step to the left, side step together. Good. Now I want you to practice this trying to continue to look forward instead of down at your feet. So once again, just make sure your chairs are far enough apart that you have ample space to take those small steps, okay? Now let's practice that again, standing tall, looking forward. Let's step forward, heel toe. Step to the right, side step together. Step backwards, toe, heel. And step to the left, side step together. Good. Now let's go the opposite direction. Remember my tips about stepping forward, heel toe, stepping backward, toe, heel, and stepping side to the side with the toes still pointing forward, okay? So we don't want to turn our body. We're keeping our body facing forward as we side step. So let's try it. Going to the right this time, side step. Coming forward. Coming to the left, side step. And stepping backward. Good. Let's do that again. To the right. To the front. To the left. And to the back. Good job, everyone. Okay, let's practice that one more time each direction. So starting at the back left square, let's do our step forward, looking forward. Let's do our side step to the right. Now step backwards. And let's step to the left, side step. Good. And now we're going to go the opposite direction one more time. Remember, try to lessen that amount you're holding onto the chair as best you can to challenge your balance. Let's use our right leg to side step to the right. Let's step forward. Let's step to the left, side step. And let's step backwards. Very good, everyone. I'm going to put this chair away now, and let's do the next balance exercise. Okay, the next one, what we'll do is opposite arm and leg coming up at the same time for 10 repetitions, okay? So let's start with our left arm reaching up and our right knee coming up. Now, if you're finding the right knee coming up a little bit difficult to balance without holding with your whole hand, you can feel free to keep practicing just the right knee up and down. If you want a little extra challenge, you can lift up your left arm as you lift up your right knee, like so. Okay? So we'll do that 10 times, and then we'll switch to the opposite arm and leg 10 times. Make sure you have your chair on your right side so you can hold with your right hand if you're lifting up your left arm. So let's stand with the feet fairly close together, and let's bring up that right knee with or without your left arm 10 times. Remember, try to progress the amount you're holding onto the chair so that it's a little bit less than before, okay? So let's start maybe with our palm, and let's reach up as we lift up that right knee, left arm. Maybe try progressing to your fingertips. 2. Keep your stomach muscles tight, maybe 1 or 2 fingertips. 3. And perhaps hovering. 4. Just do what you feel is going to give you a challenge. 5. But is also safe that you have your hand close by. 6. To that backrest at all times. 7. Keep looking forward and breathing. 8. It's okay if you have to put your foot down on the floor or your hand down on the chair. 9. You can always reset. 10. Very good. Now we're going to switch sides. So I'm going to move my chair to the left side. And now we'll use our left knee coming up and our right arm going up. Remember, it's okay to just practice with your leg. And the more of a challenge you prefer, we can add in that arm as well, opposite arm. Start with your feet fairly close together, standing tall, and remember to breathe throughout. Let's lift that left knee, and the right arm is optional. Holding onto your chair, try reducing to maybe just the palm. 2. And perhaps you're comfortable with just the fingertips on the chair. 3. Sorry, excuse me for one moment. Left knee, right arm. 4. Maybe you're comfortable with just 1 or 2 fingertips on the chair now. 5. Or hovering if you're quite there. 6. But you don't have to be. Just keep in mind any amount of progression is positive. 8. And last 2. Breathing in and out. 9. And 10. Good job, everyone. Good work. Okay, now it's time to do some forward and backward weight shifting. I'm going to move my chair to the front. Actually, I will turn my body so that I have my chair in front, but you see the side view. So I'm going to stagger my feet. I have my right foot in front and my left foot to the back. I'm not walking on a tightrope here. I want the space between the legs, okay? So make sure that you have some space between your feet, the right foot in front, the left foot in back. Now let's do some rocking forward and back, lifting our back heel. You can hold the chair for support. And rocking backwards, lifting the front toes. So just one foot has something coming up, the back heel. And now the front toes. So we're rocking forward and backward. And once again, I want you to try to progress from a little less hand support. As you look forward, getting a feeling for your body weight shifting forward and back. You can go nice and slow, take your time, and see how that feels to rock the body weight forward and backward. And what we're going to do, if you feel you can use a little bit more of a challenge with this one, we're going to practice lifting that back foot up. Now you can hold on to the chair and lifting that front foot up. So we're rocking forward, lifting the back foot, rocking backwards, lifting the front foot. Now you can hold on to your chair till you get a feel for this movement, as it's a little bit more challenging for sure. And then you can start reducing the amount that you're holding onto the chair. Let's try 10 of these. 1, 2. Remember, when you go backward, toe touches, then heel, lift. Then heel and toe when you go forward. 3, 4. Doesn't have to lift up very high, just a little bit. 5, or just keep rocking, lifting the heel and toe only if that's enough of a challenge right now. 6. Keep looking forward, keep your stomach muscles tight. 7, and breathe. 8, almost there, toe and then heel, lift. Heel and then toe, lift. And last one. Good work, everyone. Now we're going to switch. Let's place our left foot in front, the right leg in back, and make sure that there is that space between your feet again. And we'll start with just the simple rocking forward with the heel coming up. and rocking back with the toe coming up. You can start by holding onto the chair. And I want you to progress using a little less hand support. And the goal with this one is to come to a place where you feel comfortable lifting up your hands, but keeping them close by as you lift that back heel and the front toe, shifting forward and backward. And once you've mastered that one without any hand support, then we can move on to a little bit more of a challenge. If you're finding this one still a little bit difficult, it's okay to keep practicing at this one. If you want that more of a challenge, then we're going to hold on to our chair so we can get a feel for it as we shift forward and lift the back foot, shift backward and lift the front foot. And you can reduce the amount you're holding onto the chair as you progress with this one. Make sure you look straight ahead and a finger or two, that's totally fine. If you need it, hold with more support. If not, challenge yourself. Let's do 10, starting now. 1. Remember, toe touches the ground, then the heel when you go back. Heel touches, then the toe when you go forward. 2. 3. Keep looking forward. 4. You don't have to lift those feet too high, just a little bit. 5. Keep breathing, you're doing great. 6. 7. Last 3. 8. 9. And final 1. Very good, everyone. Hope you felt that challenge. That was great work. Now let's finish off with our last balance exercise where we'll do some reaching with some hip hinging. So I'll stay turned to the side so you can see what's going on with my hips here when I reach forward. I want you to start with just one arm at a time. And you can start with your right arm and reaching forward with the right. You can still hold your chair with the left. But progressively, I want you to try to use less hand support on the chair, okay? So let's reach forward and push the hips back. Let's switch arms. Left arm, reach forward, push the hips back. Let's do 4 more of those, reaching each arm. 3 more pairs. Remember to look forward and keep your arm going forward, not downward. 2. And 1 more time with each arm. 1. Good. Now we're going to try with 2 arms 5 times if it feels comfortable. If you're not quite feeling comfortable without having any hand close to the chair, it's okay to keep practicing with 1 arm, okay? Just keep switching each time. So let's try with 2 arms. If it feels okay for you, make sure you have your wide legs. Breathing in and out. Reach. Reach. 3 more. Reach. Make sure those hips press back when you reach forward. And last one. Very good. Great work, everyone. Let's make sure we get some water before we start some seated strengthening with our bands today. I hope everyone's feeling okay. Remember, It's always all right to take a rest if you need one. No pressure. And when you feel ready, jump on in back with us. Remember, if your fingers get tired holding on to the band, you can wrap the band around your hands like so you don't have to grip so tight with the fingers. And let's begin with our biceps. So we're going to place this underneath both of our feet. Like so. Okay? Now, for the bicep curls, we want to keep our elbows next to our sides. If we're bringing our elbows out front, then we're working on the shoulder and not the bicep, which is not what we want to do for this particular exercise. So keep your elbows at your sides when you bend your elbows. So let's breathe in, straighten your arms. Sit nice and tall, front of your chair. Breathe out, bend the elbows. 2. Breathing in and out. 3. 4. 5. Breathe in and out. 6. 7. 8. Remember, if you need to stop before the 10th repetition, that's okay too. Just listen to your body. 10. Now we're going to work the back part of our upper arm. So for this one, I am going to turn my chair, and you can keep the band exactly where it was. And what we will do here is keeping that band under both of your feet. We're going to let your arm drop and then bend. Okay, so let's just start with one of your arms. Let's start with your left arm. And I want you to also bend forward from your hips. Now straighten the bottom half of your arm. Bend your elbow, straighten your elbow. Before we're breathing in and out. 3, 4, 5. Breathe in and out. 6. You're doing great. Keep it up. 7, 8, 9. And last one. Good work. Shake that shoulder out. Now let's switch sides. Just hold on while I switch my chair around so you can see. Now for the right side, front of your chair, band under those feet. Remember, let your arm drop, bend your elbow. Bend forward from the hips, push back with your lower arm. Bend and straighten. 3, looking forward, breathing in and out. 4, 5, 6, 7, almost there. 8, 9, and 10. Very good, everyone. While we're in this position, why don't we do some rows? So keeping the band underneath both of your feet, just slide your legs further forward so the heels are on the ground, the toes are pointing up. Make sure that band's under the middle of your feet so that won't fling up at you. And sitting at the front of your chair, we're going to keep our back straight and once again bend forward slightly from your hips. Now pull your elbows back. We're working our upper back now. Let's breathe in, relax, breathe out, pull those elbows back. Hands should end up at your rib cage. Breathing in and out. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, you got it, keep going, 9, 10, very good. Okay, let's remove the band from there, and next we'll place the band in our hands, keeping your elbows at your sides. I'll turn my chair so you can see better. Now, hands under the band, keeping the band taut with your elbows at your sides. Let's sit tall and breathe in. Breathing out, open up your hands to the side, elbows stay at the sides. 2, breathe in, and out. We're working on our shoulders in this one. 3, 4, breathing in and out. 5, 6, 7. Keep an eye on your elbows. Make sure they stay at your sides. Last 2. And 10. Good job. Shake your shoulders out and breathe. Very good. Now let's place the band on top of our thighs. Time to move on to the lower body. Let's place it on top and cross it underneath your thighs. Pull it nice and tight, grabbing onto the ends of the band. And let's start with our feet together, just pulling the thighs apart. So let's breathe in first. Breathing out, thighs come apart. It's okay if the feet turn, of course. Breathe in and out, 2. Working the outer part of your thighs. 3, 4. Breathe in and out. 5. Keep up the good work, everyone. 6, 7, 8. We're feeling that yet? 9. Muscles working hard. And 10. Very good. Let's separate our feet now. And let's take this band and we'll put it underneath one of our feet. So let's start with the right foot. I want you to grab onto the ends of the band. And now when we bend our right knee, I want you to place your hands at your hips and keep them there the whole time. Straighten your your right leg, heels on the ground, toes pointing up, but notice how my arms have not moved. So keep those hands at your hips, fixed in place. 2, breathe in when you bend and out as you straighten. 3, working those big thigh muscles. 4, very important leg muscles. 5, breathe in and out. 6, 7, 8, last 2, 9. And you did it. Great. Let's switch legs. Placing that band under your left foot now, right in the center of it. And once again, we want to bend that left knee, placing the hands at the hips. Keep them fixed there. Now press down with the left leg. Breathe in and out. 3, 4, 5. We can do it. We're almost there. This will be our last band exercise, and then we'll do a little bit of standing strengthening before we stretch. 8, 9, and number 10. Very good, everyone. Let's take these bands and put them away in a safe place. Grab some water and sanitize your hands if you can, and we'll come back for a little standing strengthening. All right. I'm going to move my chair forward so I have a little bit more room here. And let's start with using the outside of our thighs, our hips, And this muscle is very important for our balance as well. So start with your feet together. Now you can either tap your toe on the ground and bring it back in 10 times, or you can lift your foot up, which is what I'm going to do. But remember, if you're feeling fatigued, you can either take a break or modify the exercise by tapping the toe on the ground instead of lifting it. But if you're lifting it, I want you to keep that toe pointing forward as you bring your leg out. Let's breathe in first. And breathing out, right leg comes out and in 10 times. 2. Hold the chair for support. 3. Leg doesn't have to go out too far. You want to maintain that nice upright posture. 6. Breathing in and out. 8. 9. And 10. Very good. Now with your left leg. Hold the chair for support. Feet together. Breathe in. Standing tall. Left leg. Either tap or lift. Out and in. 10 times. 3. 4. 5. Breathe in and out. 7. 8. 9. And 10. Lovely. Shake those legs out. Breathe. Now let's do a little squatting. I'll turn my chair. And remember, when you squat, make sure that you always have wide legs, look straight ahead, and bend the knees slightly, not past your front toes, and hips go back. Let's breathe in first, and breathe out. 2. 3. Just a little bit is perfectly fine. You don't have to squat down far to make it effective. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And last one. Good job, everyone. Now, let's do some stretches. Come close to the back of your chair. Take a nice big step back with one of your legs. And bend that front knee. Make sure it doesn't come past your toes. Back leg remains straight. Heel on the ground. Breathe. 3 deep breaths. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. Let's step forward and opposite leg now, getting a nice stretch in the calf muscle. Bending in front, back leg straight. Breathe into that stretch. Good. Now, let's have a seat. I'm going to move my chair. Take your time. And we'll finish off with our seated stretches. Remember, whenever you come to sit down, hold on to the armrest that's closest with you, with the hand that's closest to it. Then shimmy over and switch to the opposite armrest. Good. Let's breathe in through the nose, reaching up. As high as you can, stretch and hold it for a few moments while you breathe. Release. Now, the neck. Let's lean our head to the right shoulder. Relax those shoulders and breathe. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Feel free to close your eyes if you like when you stretch. Cooling down the body now. And gently to the opposite side. Good. Now, stretch for the back of the arm. Placing your right hand on your right shoulder. Lift that elbow up and hold it up with your opposite hand. as you breathe. Doesn't matter if it's here, you feel a stretch, or if you need it a little bit higher. Do what you feel is best for you to get that stretch. Now the opposite arm. Good. Let's stretch our shoulders next. Right hand, left shoulder. Grab that upper part of your arm, bring it close and to the left. Breathe. And the opposite side. Bringing the elbow towards you and to the right. Good. Now reach your arms behind you. Try to keep your thumbs pointing up as you bring your arms as far back as you can. Try to even grab onto the bottom back part of your backrest or interlock your fingers together. But let's press those shoulder blades back and chin up slightly as you breathe. Feeling a nice stretch in the chest and even down through the biceps. Good. Release that stretch. Straighten out one arm. Pull back gently on your fingers towards you. And the opposite arm. Good. Now, let's have wide legs. We're going to stretch our inner thighs. So let's put our fingers together, breathing in. Turn them inside out, and as you breathe out, stretch forward. Good. I almost forgot about our trunk. Let's have those wide legs. Bring your right arm up and over. And look at the ceiling as you feel that stretch on your right side. You can support your upper body with your left elbow on your left leg. Let's switch sides. Good. Now, sitting tall, hands outside your right thigh. Sit tall and breathe as you turn to look past your right shoulder. Breathe into the stretch. And to the opposite side, hands outside your left thigh. Turn and breathe. Looking behind you. Good. Now let's have wide legs and do a little stretch for our back. Place your hands on your lower thigh so the pinky fingers are the furthest away from your body. And with those wide legs, let's bring our right elbow towards your left knee and push on your right leg with your right hand. Breathe. And let's sit tall, breathing in and out as we bring the left shoulder now down towards that right knee, pressing into the left leg with your left hand. Good. Let's have wide legs and let's bring our arms down towards the floor as we breathe out. So take a deep breath in and breathing out, lower down towards the floor. You can keep your head up. You don't have to look down unless that feels comfortable for you. Good. Now, Let's bring our right foot to the left knee. Sit nice and tall with me as we stretch our hip. Place some gentle pressure on the side of your leg. Concentrate on your breath, and when you exhale, feel free to bend forward slightly if it feels right to give more of a stretch in the hip. Just keep your head up so you don't feel lightheaded. And let's hug that knee closer to our body to get a stretch in your glutes. And we're almost done now with our stretches. Let's switch sides. Get the opposite hip. Sit tall with the back and breathe. And of course, if it's too much of a stretch with the foot on the knee, you can always keep it on the ground, crossing at the ankles, okay? That's always an option. And you can always try leaning forward if it feels right in the hip. Keep the back straight and hinge from your hip. Now lift that knee, hug it close, and breathe. Good. Last stretch for the back of our leg. So straighten out one of your legs, heel touching the ground, toe is pointing up. Other knee is bent, foot flat on the ground, and hands on that bent knee's thigh. Sit tall with me, breathe in. And as we breathe out, we bend forward from the hips, keeping the back straight and the head up. Feeling that in the back of your leg. The more you breathe, when you exhale, you may be able to go a little further if it feels right. Let's switch legs. And the same thing. Sit tall, breathe. In and out, coming forward. Always feels great to stretch at the end of your workout. You all did so well today. Thank you so much for following me. This is the end of our falls prevention class for the day. Everyone enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you next time.